So good evening, dear student. I think yesterday only we had made the base of learning ratio analysis. I told you simply, your data may not be in a position to help us or to assist us to take the strategic decision when it comes to top level or higher level management. Subsequently, it is very essential for us that we should use the different analytical tools, techniques to understand those data in a better way to take the corrective measures or framing the strategic decisions for development of business or making any corrective measures. So ratio analysis is tools of analysis through which we can analyze our financial data as we have seen during previous session. And I told you to remember, to recollect, to reproduce. Let us segregate the ratios in three categories. First category of the ratio is known as P&L ratio, which is also known as income statement ratio or revenue statement ratio. Second category is balance sheet ratio. And third category is combined ratio. The segregation could have been done. I mean, we did the segregation in way when it comes to P&L ratio, all the numerator and denominator is from profit and loss for those ratio. When it comes to balance sheet ratio, all the numerator and denominator is from balance sheet. And if it is combined ratio, one from balance sheet and another from income statement or profit and loss or whatever you have given revenue statement or the nomenclature what we have given. Now, if we will proceed further to understand it, as I told you, we have 5 P&L ratios, profit and loss ratio. They are, first one is gross profit ratio. So as we have seen the formulas, I hope you must have gone through those formulas. You must have understand those formulas. You must have practiced it. If not, please do it before your exam because it is a part and parcel of your internal exam. So when it comes to P&L ratio, the first ratio, and whenever we will have the explanation, even in the textbook, it has been given serial number, ratio, their formula, how it is to be expressed, whether it is expressed in pure form, whether it is expressed in percentage form, or it is to be expressed in time form, so on rupees or etc. etc. And then suitability, high ratio is better for the company or low ratio is better for the company. And lastly, why we are computing, reasons, okay, how it is assisting entire business organization for taking their strategic decision. So the first profit and loss ratio, if you have already downloaded the book, you can verify also and certify if somewhere I'm getting wrong or any corrections are required, kindly let me know. The first ratio is gross profit ratio. The formula of the gross profit ratio is gross profit upon net sales into 100. Again, net sales means total sales, cash sales, credit sales minus sales return. Then we have the net profit ratio. As you know, in income statement, the net profit is subdivided into 3 categories: operating net profit before tax, and net profit after tax. So all 3 categories can be computed as a formula. So operating net profit, if they are asking, then operating net profit upon net sales into 100. Net profit before tax, they are asking, the net profit before tax upon net sales into 100. If they are asking net profit after tax, then again net profit after tax upon net sales into 100. In any of the accounting formula, if it is multiplied by 100, then it will always be expressed in terms of percentage. Keep in mind. If it is multiplied by 100, it will always be expressed in terms of percentage. As these are the profit or profit related ratios, high ratio is always profitable for the company. Say, for example, 2 companies detail is given, A and B, and A company has 30% profit, B company has 35% profit, of net profit. So in that case, I will say B is better than A. So high ratio is, or if you are comparing with the last year or current year data, like previous example we have given you. So if it is more, it is better. If it is less, then it is not. After this, we have operating ratio. Operating ratio means there is two things. One is operating expense ratio and another is operating ratio. Operating ratio means for entire business operation, how much expenditure we have incurred. So it includes the cost of sales part as well as the operating expenses part. Okay. So the formula goes like this: cost of sales plus operating expenses upon net sales into 100. There might be some printographical error in some of the formulas, but whatever I am dictating, whatever we are deliberating now, please keep it in your notebook. It will be part of your assignment. Whatever the things I'm giving you, again, I'm going to check these assignment and Viva will be the second part of your internal assessment. So keep it in mind.
Okay, sir.
Again, these are the expense ratio. So the low ratio will be better for the company, not the higher ratio. So previous ratio, we were calculating to know the profitability and efficiency level. These ratio, we are calculating how the expenses are managed. Okay. So one is operating ratio, then the expense ratio. As you know, expenses are sub-classified as a operating expenses, and then operating expenses are sub-classified in three categories: office and administration, selling and distribution, and financial. So all together separately can also be calculated. So there is a difference between operating expense and operating ratio and operating expense ratio. So here, if it is operating expense ratio, then operating expense upon net sales into 100. And the key factor is wherever it is multiplied by 100, it is always to be expressed in terms of percentage. Now, as these are expenses, low ratio will be beneficial for the company. We are calculating this ratio to know the expense management control mechanism, how the expenses can be controlled, etc., etc. Then after this, we have stock turnover ratio. There are three types of stock, you know very well. One is finished goods, other is WIP, and third one is raw material. So all turnover cannot be expressed in terms of percentage. Isliye now here it will be expressed in terms of times. How many times you were, if suppose you are a trader, how many times you bought and you sold, again you get the cash, again you bought and again you sold. That is known as turnover. So if it is finished goods, then cost of sales upon average stock of finished goods. Average stock of finished goods means opening stock of finished goods plus closing stock of finished goods divided by 2. If opening closing details are not there, or if it is missing, then only the closing stock to be considered. Wherever average things are there, if opening details are not there, closing will be considered as average stock. Okay. I told you it will be expressed in terms of times. Again, high ratio will be better for the company, and it is calculated to know, to check the inventory management system, efficiency in inventory management system or stock management system of the company. So here we have completed all 5 ratios of P&L. Any doubt? That was
No, sir.
That was gross profit, net profit, all together separately, operating expenses and stock turnover. आप वेरीफाई कर सकते हैं बुक से. सही है?
हाँ सर.
Can we proceed further?
Yes sir.
तो ऐसे आपको भी याद रहनी चाहिए. देखना मैं सारे रेशियोज को कैसे एक फॉर्मूला वे से, एक टेक्निक से याद करके रखता हूँ. It's again a very simple process. Segregation बहुत important है, and then applying those logic I told you, for remember, recollect, and reproduce. Very important. The next part what we have is balance sheet ratio. There are 6 balance sheet ratio, and wherever there is a balance sheet ratio, there are universal standard. जैसे कुछ स्टैंडर्ड आपको याद रहेगा. करंट रेशियो का स्टैंडर्ड होता है 2:1. क्विक रेशियो का स्टैंडर्ड होता है 1:1. So when we are expressing, it is known as pure form. And all balance sheet ratios is showing solvency, right? Solvency. Say for example, Usra and Hetal, they are very good friends. Okay. Or being the CR, Hetal ने 5,000 रुपया ले लिया उससे या 20,000 रुपया ले लिया और पैसा ले लिया तो चलता है, बट देने का टाइम आता है तो नहीं देता है. So she was not giving her. She came and complained me, and she was not even picking her call also. So one particular day after 2-3 years, she caught her in the college, and there these 3 incident took place. First incident, तीनों cases को समझो, then you will understand what is the immediate liquidity or solvency, what is short-term solvency, and what is long-term solvency. Because पूरा का पूरा balance sheet ratio is describing the solvency condition of the entire company. Whereas P&L part was talking about profitability, was talking about expenses, control mechanism, stock turnover, inventory management, so on and so forth. Whereas balance sheet ratio का एक ही है solvency position बताना, and that is very critical, very important. Okay, so first incident में ऐसा हुआ, Hetal has given immediately 21,000 to Usra, and she said, यार मैं 3 साल तेरे पैसे को वापस ये ले, 1,000 रुपया तेरा इंटरेस्ट दे दिया मैंने. This is first case. Second incident में ऐसा हुआ, she took her to the nearby ATM center, वहां से 21,000 रुपया निकाला और उसको दे दिया. थर्ड केस ऐसा था कि उसके पास 6-7 मोबाइल फोन था, उसमें से एक दे दिया, which was costing 30,000, उसने 20,000 के अगेंस्ट में दे दिया. Now these 3 cases is indicating 3 financial position or solvency of Hetal. First case is talking about her immediate solvency, immediate liquidity, quick liquidity. That is very strong. To pay off the quick liability, she has sufficient quick current asset or quick asset. Second is showing she do not have quick, but she has short-term asset. She went to the bank, withdraw the cash from ATM, and she has paid. Third is showing her long-term solvency. She has so much of asset, उसमें से 1-2 asset दे दिया तो भी उसको फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. So it is very, very important. You must have seen, and you can coordinate it with many of the case studies. And several times I told you, if we'll take the example of Kingfisher, or if we'll take the example of Jet Airways, thereby also their solvency was not good. ऐसा नहीं था कि उनके पास एयरक्राफ्ट नहीं था, एयरक्राफ्ट था लेकिन इमीडिएट कैश नहीं थे, इसके लिए इतनी बड़ी कंपनी बैंकरप्ट हो गई 30 साल के बाद. सो ये बहुत ही जरूरी होता है कि जब हम किसी भी कंपनी का बैलेंस शीट एनालाइज करें तो उसका सॉल्वेंसी देखें. सेकेंड, आप देखोगे कि उसके पास लॉन्ग टर्म सॉल्वेंसी भी नहीं थी, लाइक एयर इंडिया की तरह. एयर इंडिया कितना भी लॉस कर ले, सारा चीज तो गवर्नमेंट बेयर करने ही वाला है, बिकॉज ऑल एयरपोर्ट इज बिलोंग्स टू देम. बहुत फंडिंग है, बहुत सारा एसेट है. अंडरस्टूड? सो दीज टू आर वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दैट इज व्हाई whenever it comes to the financing, for short term we raise short term sources and we finance. For medium term we raise medium term finances and we do it. For long term we always use the long term funds. Mismanagement कब होता है? जब long term fund को आप short term में use करते हैं. जैसे इन लोगों ने long term loan लेके salary पे कर दिया, fuel खरीद लिया. Have you got it? So it is very,
Yes,
very
sir.
important that which fund to be utilized for which purposes. Okay. So thereby we have first quick ratio. Formula is very simple: quick asset upon quick liability, and industry standard is 1:1. Second is current ratio. And I think I told you high ratio is always better. It has been calculated to know the immediate solvency of the company. Current ratio, current asset upon current liability. Then we have debt equity ratio, debt upon equity. That means long-term loan. Equity means shareholders fund. Okay. Then we have stock working capital ratio, closing stock upon working capital, because these are non-quick current assets. क्या क्या है? क्लोजिंग स्टॉक और प्रीपेड एक्सपेंसेस. उसी तरह नॉन क्विक करंट एसेट क्या क्या है? बैंक ओवरड्राफ्ट और कैश क्रेडिट. याद रखना, करंट एसेट में दो स्टॉक एंड प्रीपेड एक्सपेंस, एंड करंट लायबिलिटी में दो बैंक ओवरड्राफ्ट एंड कैश क्रेडिट. दीज आर नॉन क्विक. रेस्ट और क्विक. क्विक मींस लिक्विड. उसको लिक्विडेशन में ज्यादा टाइम नहीं लगता है. ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड विद स्टॉक. स्टॉक आपके पास पड़ा है, जब तक सामने वाला कोई कस्टमर नहीं आएगा उसको वही स्टॉक नहीं चाहिए रहेगा. वो जो प्राइस आपने डिसाइड किया उस पर एग्री नहीं होगा, और उसके पास भी कैश होना चाहिए, तब तक वो लिक्विडेट फॉर्म में आएगा क्या आपके पास? नहीं आएगा. Whereas if I have the cash in bank, or I have another kind of mutual fund which is liquidated immediately, हम गए और बेच लिए, लेके आ गए. So then this, or small FDs, थोड़ा पैसा आ गया. So these are bank balances, cash in hand, promissory notes on which bill of exchange, on which you can raise the fund. These are quick assets or current or liquid asset. Okay, rest all are non-quick. They are stock and prepaid expense. Similarly, in current liability, bank overdraft and cash credit. Yaad rakhna. Then I told you we have debt equity ratio, debt upon equity. We have stock working capital ratio, closing stock upon working capital into 100. And last, we have capital gearing ratio, funds with fixed interest and dividend divided by funds without fixed interest and dividend. So even preference had to be taken up. So debentures, debt, loan के साथ preference share भी आएगा, because preference share में it is fixed rate of interest and dividend. Divide by जहाँ पे non fixed rate है, यानी equity shareholders fund. Okay, will be considered. Then after this we all have combined ratio. Combined में सबसे पहले आता है return. Return on investment क्या है? Return on equity क्या है? Return on total asset क्या है? So all net profit before tax plus interest divided by total asset into 100. Net profit after tax plus interest divided by investment into 100. Net profit after tax divided by equity shareholders, that is return on equity into 100. So बताता है कि मेरे को investment में 2% आया या equity share को 5% return आया. These are called return ratio. Return on different aspects. Return on total asset, return on investment, return on equity. These are known as return ratio. And now, as you know, to calculate these ratios, you need to have P&L also in your hand. You need to have balance sheet also in your hand. ये दोनों होना बहुत ही जरूरी है. Okay. The subsequent thing, what we have after this is debtors turnover ratio and creditors turnover ratio. ठीक है. जब भी आप डेटर्स एंड क्रेडिटर्स टर्नओवर की बात करते हो और एज ऑफ डेटर्स और एवरेज कलेक्शन पीरियड की बात करते हो, देन इट्स वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट वी शुड अंडरस्टैंड द लॉजिक. जैसे स्टॉक एक बार आपने बेचा, खरीदा, पैसा आया, वापस स्टॉक, वैसे डेटर के साथ भी है. आपने क्रेडिट दिया, आपने क्रेडिट में बेचा, उनसे कलेक्ट कर पाए, वापस आपने क्रेडिट में बेचा, आपने कलेक्ट कर. सो फर्स्ट इज debtors turnover ratio, which is always in terms of times. Okay, फॉर्मूला वही रहेगा. वहां पे कॉस्ट ऑफ सेल्स था, यहाँ पे क्या हो जाएगा? क्रेडिट सेल्स. वहां पे एवरेज स्टॉक था, यहाँ पे होगा एवरेज डेटर्स. सो एवरेज डेटर्स मीन्स ओपनिंग प्लस क्लोजिंग डिवाइड बाय 2 एंड बिल्स रिसीवेबल. एवरेज डेटर्स एंड बिल्स रिसीवेबल. ओके, अगेन ये आपको टाइम्स में देगा इतने टाइम्स तक, बट आपको डेज में आंसर चाहिए, या आपको मंथ्स में आंसर चाहिए, या आपको वीक में आंसर चाहिए, देन यू जस्ट रिवर्स दिस रेशियो. आप क्या करेंगे, एवरेज डेटर्स एंड बिल्स रिसीवेबल डिवाइड बाय नेट क्रेडिट सेल्स. अगर आप मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे 12 तो आंसर आएगा मंथ में. अगर आप मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे 52 आपको आंसर आएगा वीक में. अगर आप मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे 365 आपको आएगा आंसर डेज में. बट देयर वोंट बी एनी डिफरेंस. अगर 30 दिन आंसर आ रहा है तो 4 वीक आएगा और 1 मंथ आएगा. उसमें कोई आंसर में फर्क नहीं है. Am I clear till here? Same thing goes with creditors turnover ratio also. जैसे डेटर्स के लिए वैसे क्रेडिटर्स का भी हमने कितनी बार पे कर पाए, what is our credit position, whether we are in a position to pay off the creditors or not, this is very important. Okay, or again average payment period for the creditors, same logic goes. Again average तभी होगा जब ओपनिंग दिया रहेगा, नहीं तो क्लोजिंग को ही कंसीडर करेंगे. So till here we have a combined, and then also we will be having combined, but now this combined ratio for the investors. Okay, उसमें पहला है earning per share. Okay, actually how much we will earn per share is very important before investing in those shares and debentures. So earning per share ratio ka formula is net profit after tax minus preference dividend divided by number of equity share. So earning per share always will be in terms of rupees. Then there is a price earning ratio. P ratio is the market price upon EPS. कि वो सपोज आपने एक पर्टिकुलर शेयर का EPS निकाला 100 रुपीज, बट वही शेयर मार्केट में ट्रेड हो रहा है 1000 रुपीज के हिसाब से, यानी 10 times more is there as the volatility of that particular share. Now it's up to you. It is giving you clear picture whether to invest or not. So आप देखेंगे जितने भी फाइनेंशियल न्यूज़पेपर आते हैं उसमें EPS, अर्निंग पर शेयर सारे कैलकुलेटेड रहते हैं, so that investor should get an idea to invest or not. Similarly, dividend ratio, right? Dividend payout ratio, total dividend, और सिर्फ इक्विटी डिविडेंड की बात आती है. और देन डेट सर्विस कवरेज रेशियो और इंटरेस्ट कवरेज रेशियो. अगर हमने इक्विटी के थ्रू नहीं इन्वेस्ट किया है, हमने डेट के थ्रू इन्वेस्ट किया है, हमने ऐसे फाइनेंसिंग करी है, हम ये देखने की कोशिश करेंगे भाई मेरा इंटरेस्ट और इंस्टॉलमेंट दे पाएगा ये कंपनी, और एटलीस्ट इंटरेस्ट दे पाएगा कि नहीं. सो दीज आर फॉर इन्वेस्टर्स पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. So with this almost we have completed all the ratios including combined ratio. If any of you have any doubt, feel free to ask. And this is what even I have shown it to you yesterday in my book. You must be having for the reference. ये देखो, क्लियर है. ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट रेशियो, नेट प्रॉफिट रेशियो, बिफोर टैक्स, आफ्टर टैक्स, ऑपरेटिंग रेशियो. जहां भी मल्टीप्लाई बाय 100 है, इट इज ऑलवेज टू बी एक्सप्रेस इन टर्म्स ऑफ percentage. These are high ratio which is good, these are low ratio which are good. Okay, स्टॉक टर्नओवर के लिए मैंने बताया, अगर रॉ मटेरियल होगा तो रॉ मटेरियल कंज्यूम डिवाइड बाय एवरेज स्टॉक ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल. अगर WIP रहेगा तो कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन डिवाइड बाय एवरेज स्टॉक ऑफ WIP. एवरेज तब निकलेगा जब ओपनिंग वैल्यू दिया है, नहीं दिया है तो क्लोजिंग विल बी कंसिडर एज एवरेज। ये 5 के 5 P&L खत्म हो गए। देन ये बैलेंस शीट आता है, करंट रेशियो, शॉर्ट टर्म सॉल्वेंसी, क्विक रेशियो, इमीडिएट सॉल्वेंसी, standard is given, what need to be excluded is given, stock prepaid expense, bank overdraft cash credit, stock working capital ratio, proprietary ratio, sorry एक मैंने यहाँ पे मिसिंग करा था 6 में, proprietary, so proprietors fund upon total asset into 100, debt equity बताया था मैंने, capital gearing मैंने बोला it is a part of above, so ये total कितने हो गए 5 plus 6 11, then we have return on capital employed, just now I told you. Operating plus interest divided by capital. Return on total asset before tax plus interest upon total asset. Proprietors fund after tax plus interest upon shareholders fund. Equity shareholders fund after tax minus preference dividend divided by proprietors fund minus preference share capital. कितना इक्विटी, कितने परसेंटेज इक्विटी को रिटर्न्स मिल रहा है? डेटर्स टर्नओवर बोला, नेट क्रेडिट सेल्स अपॉन एवरेज डेटर्स एंड बिल्स रिसीवेबल। इसको रिवर्स कर देंगे तो हमारा आंसर डेज, मंथ और वीक्स में आ जाएगा। ओके, क्रेडिटर्स टर्नओवर मैंने आपको बताया, ईपीएस मैंने बताया आपको, अर्निंग पर शेयर, इट इज एक्सप्रेस इन टर्म्स ऑफ रुपीस। प्राइस अर्निंग बताया, मार्केट शेयर अपॉन ईपीएस, टाइम्स में इसको एक्सप्रेस करते हैं। डिविडेंड मैंने बताया, टोटल डिविडेंड अपॉन नेट प्रॉफिट। इक्विटी डिविडेंड मैंने बताया, डिविडेंड यील्ड, earning yield, debt service coverage ratio and interest coverage ratio. This is how the formulas goes. Any doubt? अब तक के एग्जाम में बस इतना ही याद रखना है, कौन सा फॉर्मूला क्या इस्तेमाल करते हैं, कौन सॉल्वेंसी के लिए यूज होता है, कौन शॉर्ट टर्म सॉल्वेंसी के लिए यूज होता है, कौन लॉन्ग टर्म सॉल्वेंसी के लिए यूज होता है, कौन पीएनएल फॉर्मूला है, कौन सा, एंड फॉर्मूलाज क्या है। I believe if we will follow this strategy, it will be easy for you to remember, recollect, and reproduce in the exam. If anyone has any doubt,
थोड़ा एक दो एग्जांपल बताइए ना, मतलब एमसीक्यू के लिए कैसे आएगा सम?
MCQ के लिए आएगा, what is the formula of GP ratio? What is the formula of PPEC? सम्स आएगा ना कि अगर 10,000 रुपया हमने आज डाला, after 3 years with the rate of interest 7%, what will be the future value? और 10,000 रुपया मुझे 5 साल के बाद चाहिए, 10% रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है।
चैप्टर के लिए
बोला तो बाबा, रेशियो के लिए जीपी इज 5 लाख, नेट सेल्स इज 1 करोड़, व्हाट विल बी द जीपी रेशियो?
ओके सर,
वेरी सिंपल।
ओके, अभी समझाओ।
और किसी भी टाइप से आ सकता है। Which ratio is going to assess the short-term solvency? GP ratio, NP ratio, stock turnover ratio, current ratio, and quick ratio. What is the right answer? कुछ भी पूछ सकते हैं। और किसी को कुछ शक और सवाल? लास्ट मिनट टू गो।
सर ये आप तुरंत YouTube पर अपलोड करेंगे, क्योंकि अगर कुछ कंफ्यूजन होगा तो हम लोग वापस सुन सकते हैं ना, इसलिए।
हाँ, सुन सकते हैं बेटा, और इसके पहले भी मैंने सेशन लिया है, आई थिंक
हाँ सर, वो तो, पर ये थोड़ा, हाँ
नहीं,
सर, फिर इसमें बहुत सारे फॉर्मूलाज हैं इसलिए।
ये वाले भी मैं नहीं करता हूँ, मेरा एक स्टूडेंट करता है, बट इसके और सेशन है, मैनेजमेंट अकाउंटिंग का सेशन में लिया है इसमें F5 बैफ में, आप वहां से उसको रेफर कर सकते हैं, यूट्यूब पे ऑलरेडी अपलोडेड है। इवन एमफिल का अगर मैंने कोई सेशन लिया रहेगा, यस एमफिल में भी है, सो आप देख लो, वहां है 100%। So all the very best for your internal exam. Again, it is my wish you should clear with flying colors. 100 marks आने चाहिए, and be safe. Take care of your health and your all near and dear one. See you next week after your exams. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
you, sir.